Hi there, this is Alfie Whattam. I'm London's tech recruiter and the host of the London Tech Talks podcast, where I speak to different technology leaders across London and the surrounding areas. Today I'm speaking to Rémi. Thanks for joining us. Just to start, could you give us a little bit of information about who you are and the kind of stuff that you're working on?
Sure. So I'm Rémi. I'm the CTO and one of the co-founders of Lendflow. Lendflow is a digital asset-backed lender. We have built a tech stack from the ground up that allows us to serve small businesses finance to help them with their cash flow. So we're a pretty young company. We've been around for 3 years, but I have a background in I studied computer science, and then I worked in IoT, and I worked for internet service providers. So I've seen a whole range from hardware to software now with Lendflow. So yeah, that's quickly about me.
Wicked. Now, we're recording this during lockdown, or just as we're coming out of it. What's your lockdown experience been like, Rémi?
Yeah, that's it's been an interesting one. So, I mean, personally, it's pretty nice to be able to work at home. You have your own setup, you have your own schedule. It's pretty nice. In terms of for the company as a whole, we've always been very remote. So we've traveled a lot with the company. The HQ of the company has moved 4 times in three
Blimey.
years.
Wow.
From the UK to Dubai to Italy, Germany, Vienna, back to the UK.
Yeah.
So we have people a bit everywhere, and so we're very used to work remote. We have tools, we have processes, all of that is in place. So really, for us as a team, lockdown hasn't changed much. We work the same way that we used to before. Um, it's funny, we have raised a significant round in the last months or so, and therefore we've hired a lot in the past month, and so that is quite interesting to have to hire somebody and bringing them to the company without ever meeting them, and then you start going back to the office, and that's really the first time that you see them. That's quite interesting. But yeah, it's been good overall. I've enjoyed it.
Yes. Brilliant. Well, good. And it's brilliant that you were already sort of prepared for it in that you were working agile beforehand and whatnot, so you didn't have to go through a lot of the struggles that other companies have dealt with. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
so a lot of people that watch these videos, they're quite new to the industry. They don't quite have the level of experience that you have. And for those IT grads and junior developers that are watching, have you got any advice for them when they're just starting their tech careers?
Yeah, I mean, we can address the elephant in the room. I'm not that old. I don't
No.
have that much experience. So I mean, I did work in a few companies before Lendflow, but really Lendflow is it's my first startup, and like I said, I founded it with three other guys, and therefore and we founded it when I was still in university. So I was writing my my bachelor thesis when we started Lendflow. So I think maybe this is for young guys that are just in uni or leaving uni, or are learning how to code. I think the biggest thing is to enjoy what you do and to really find what you like. So technology is huge. Like, you can work in hardware, you can work in software, you can work in management. So my day to day is not much coding anymore, unfortunately. I love coding, and this is what I've done, since I was 11. So I really enjoy doing it. But I found that in my day to day, I actually more enjoy project management and leading people and finding new processes and trying to improve the efficiency of my team. And therefore, it is technology related in a sense, because I need to understand what they do, but it's not really, it's not coding. So I think that the most important when you start is to figure out, okay, do you want to be a developer? Do you want to write lines, and do you enjoy doing that? And if so, what are the right skills to improve? Or do you prefer to do something that is a bit less tangible, something that is maybe a bit more fluffy,
Yes.
management, for example.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I think that, yeah, finding the thing that fits you. That's the best advice. You'll do great once you have that thing that you
Yeah.
enjoy.
No, it's good advice. I hear a lot of people new to the industry and they're trying to be a generalist and do everything. They're a developer, a tester, doing support, and it just doesn't work. You need to pick an area, be the best that you can be in that particular area, and that applies to
Yeah.
tech, applies to anything.
For
Absolutely.
sure. And I think I'd add to that, you need to be able to recognize that you're not the best. So I'm very happy to say that I'm probably one of the worst dev in our tech team. I'm very happy to say that. I mean, I study computer science. Theoretically, I should have a good technical knowledge, but the guys that I've hired and that are working for us now are much better coders than I. But I I would I would say that maybe I have better management skills than they do, and therefore we complete each other. So I think it's okay to not be good at something, as long as you're happy to recognize it and to work with other people to make that thing better. That that's really important, I find.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. Now, from a looking forward perspective, are there any cutting edge technologies, future technologies which you're excited about, passionate about, and think will have a big impact on the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Lenflow is a complete serverless has a complete serverless infrastructure. So we're built on top of AWS Lambda, and I guess you could argue that this is a cutting edge technology. It is a microservice. We don't have any Dockers, we don't have anything like that, and therefore some people look at it as super high tech. That is for me the future of computing, being able to handle infrastructure at code level rather than having to have a DevOps team and have an architectural team. You can just write your code and don't worry about scaling or don't worry about queuing messages and that sort of stuff. I think that gives a lot of power to development teams. So in terms of, yeah, like maybe that's more work related.
Yeah,
In terms of other things, I mean, I've always been passionate about blockchain. I wrote my dissertation about on blockchain. I have been in the industry since about 2013. So in blockchain term, that's
yes, yeah,
prehistorical. Um,
very early blockchain. Yeah,
so that, I guess, that's my passion. I think blockchain, not the financial side of it. So when you see people talking about the price of Bitcoin, I think that's completely irrelevant to the power that technology has. I think blockchain has the power to really revolutionize the way we see data and data ownership and the way we see interactions between data holders. So I have my data. How can I give it to people in a way that is beneficial for me? How do we make sure the incentive is aligned? I think that's something that is really broken in the current infrastructure of the web, and I think that blockchain as a whole can really help doing that. So yeah, blockchain for me is the path to the future.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many practical use cases aside from the finance side, which
For
are
sure.
in the early stages now. And I was speaking to somebody the other day who said we're entering the second wave of blockchain. In that the early hype was all that the Bitcoin and whatnot, but now the proper application of smart contracts and so many other interesting uses for the blockchain technology will have a massive impact on the future. So
For
it's very
sure.
exciting.
Yeah, I did. I wrote my dissertation on how do you apply blockchain tech to the ownership of medical records.
Okay.
So that was a big thing for me. I was like, okay, there's loads of people at the moment. You have no ownership whatsoever on your medical history. In the UK, the NHS owns it. In other countries, it's other government institution, and that's a huge issue because what do I do with it? How do I know that the NHS hasn't sold my genetical data to
Yeah.
some research lab? And I mean, outside the fact that I'm not too fond of that, I think there's you could monetize this. People could make some money out of this and could actually benefit from selling their data if they wanted to, or not selling it if they didn't want to. That's really up to them. But we should be able to build a system that gives ownership back to them. And so smart contracts are really a way to program incentive, to program um, human interaction in a sense, and that's super powerful. It's more the biggest issue that we've had so far is we haven't found that killer use case. The killer use case of internet was emails. That's
Yeah.
how everybody got into the internet, and then unfortunately porn, but that's another topic.
Yeah.
But we haven't found that killer use case for blockchain yet, and so hopefully we're getting to that second wave, but we're not there yet, I feel. Yeah.
Hopefully it's coming soon though. I mean, there's so
Yeah.
much cool stuff being developed. So absolutely. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have a quick chat and get some of your thoughts and ideas and insights. And obviously, thank you to everybody for watching as well. Obviously, make sure you follow the podcast to see daily episodes like this with some of the top tech experts across London. And then once again, thank you for your time.